You need to practice this manifesting technique. It's going to transform what's showing up in your reality. Stick around. Okay, welcome to Patty's World. I'm Patty. I'm a manifestation and transformational coach. I help you shift into the highest version of you so that you align with all the desires of your heart. You've heard this said before. You manifest what you are or who you are, not what you want. So what you need to start practicing and shifting into and focusing on is alignment. Who are you being? Because if you're operating from lack or doubt or not having in this present moment, like right now, all reality exists from right now. You're present. And so when you're imagining or practicing techniques or affirming, and then you're looking for evidence, then somewhere deep within yourself, you don't believe that it's already yours. When you operate from knowing that whatever it is you want to call into your life, or you want to create. And that reality already exists in the quantum. So we always create in the mind first, in imagination. When you assume you are already the version of you who has it, you imagine it being done because you first create an imagination in consciousness. That's the reality, the meaning you're attaching. And you identify as the person who has it. You don't feel the need or the compulsion to check for evidence. You trust, you believe, you have faith. You operate from certainty, from knowing. You're not doubting. You're not defaulting to who you used to be. That is the huge, powerful shift. The shift always, 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 always happens from within. You feel it from within. So manifestation is instant because you feel that shift. You live that shift. You embody that shift. You no longer have to search for evidence, right? You step into that. You make those powerful shifts. So I want you to start assuming, law of assumption, whatever you believe to be true is what you're going to create. It is what is going to conform in your external reality. I want you to start assuming that everything and anything is always working in your favor. Whatever's showing up right now, even if it's the opposite of what you want, I don't know how, some way, somehow this is going to flip and work in my favor because everything is always working out for me. I want you to add the belief, the assumption that things are already aligning and conforming and working out in your favor. You're going to practice this for the next week. And then I want you to come back and tell me what kind of results you get. In the comments, bookmark this video, come back and tell me what kind of results you get. Start giving everything a positive meaning. Assume that everything's always working in your favor. Someone's rude to you. I don't know how this is going to work in my favor. Something good's going to come from this because only good happens in my life because everything works in my favor and I always get what I want. So only good will come from this because only good can come from this because life is always supporting me and I always get what I want. So I want you to start practicing those mantras, those self affirmations that interrupt the pattern of the negative thinking, of the fear, of the, oh my God, the spiraling, the negative thinking. If you have a couple of default mantras like everything's always working out for me, this is going to work in my favor, only good will come from this because life, God, the universe, higher intelligence, the power that creates worlds, God, the God of your understanding, is always supporting you. And God always says yes. Whatever you're focusing on, whatever you're giving your attention to, whatever you're giving your energy and pouring your energy into, law of increase, you're magnifying, you're increasing, you're drawing more of that into your mind. It's the identity that you're embodying. So if you're living and operating and practicing the energy and the embodiment of, I am the person who always gets what they want, who life is always supporting, who everything always works out in their favors, who no matter what, only good things come from her experiences, then I have nothing to worry about. I trust, I know, I have faith, I trust in the unseen. I trust and believe and operate. Give everything a positive spin. This is working in my favor. I've started to do this recently. I don't know how this is going to work in my favor. It's working in my favor. Everything always works in my favor. And let me tell you, it's like magic, but it isn't because you're creating with the mind and whoever you are being, you're always vibrating at a core frequency. And when you're operating, when you step into the energy of trust, belief, calmness, authenticity, belief, faith in who you are, you're vibrating at a higher core frequency. That is alignment. You are aligned. You're trusting. You're knowing. You're operating from joy, from peace, from calmness. you will resonate and align and draw in experiences and people at that level. And I'm telling you, people will show up differently. Assume that everything's always working in your favor. Start shifting and practicing from that state, that vibrational state, the state of being the person who's always aligned. Practice alignment. I am aligned. I am trusting. What does alignment feel like? When you walk around with certainty, with knowing, with faith, with certainty, with knowing, with faith, with belief that life is always supporting you, that everything's always working in your favor. You know, when you feel aligned, when you feel good, just peace, peace from within, trusting. Even before things show up in your reality, you just trust that it's going to work out in your favor. And there's things, have you ever experienced in your life something that even before it shows up, you just have faith that that's what's going to happen? That's that inner knowing. That's alignment. You feel good. You're calm. You're almost flowing. Abraham Hicks described it as the path of least resistance, or what is it? The current. You're going downstream instead of upstream. You're just going downstream. You're going with a flow. You're trusting. You're following your intuitive nudges, the intuitive guidance that you feel from within, the God within your higher mind. You ask a question and you feel the answers. The answers show up. The people show up. The help shows up. The circumstances show up. The opportunity shows up. The people show up. The people who love you show up. That is what is going with a flow, traveling downstream, feeling good, believing without worry or fear that everything is always working out for you. Add a positive spin to everything, because everything is always working in your favor. Whatever has shown up in your life, you created. You created. So assume that it's there to grow you, evolve you, to serve you, even if it's, and Bashar says this, even if it's, I don't ever want to go through this again. What is this showing me about me? What is it showing me about me, and how can I feel better? How can I shift into a better feeling thought? How can I practice new thoughts? How can I calm myself? How can I soothe myself? If you're in an irritated, agitated state, and listen, I understand sometimes we get irritated, and that's happened to me. I pay attention to my thoughts. What am I telling myself? What meaning am I attaching to the situation? What am I believing? And how can I believe different? What can I tell myself instead? What can my internal dialogue, my internal chatter reflect? I want to reflect someone who's calm, secure, safe, happy. I have great relationships. I'm always supported. I always get what I want. This is working in my favor. The money is here. Everything's paid off. I add the assumption that it's already done. Take yourself to the state of wish fulfilled. Practice over and over and over. Alignment. If you're dysregulated, if you feel a wobble, then practice that nervous system regulation. Deep breathing. You could do walking, deep breathing, affirmations, some mirror work. You can jump up and down, anything to just shake that energy off. Literally shake it off. And then imagine yourself, okay, who would I prefer to be right now? I'm calm, I'm safe, I'm secure. I get to decide what is true and real in my reality. I create the story in my mind. I create the meaning. So let me give it a positive meaning. And this is going to work out in my favor. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just have to know what the next right step is. If you don't know what to do nothing. Pause and then focus on shifting into a better feeling state by talking to yourself. Practice talking to yourself as if you are already the version who has what they want. And when you start practicing that inner dialogue, that self-talk from the state of having and being, you're already happy, you're already loved, you're already adored, you're already safe, you're already wealthy, you're already abundant, you are already in an amazing relationship, and you practice that and you tell your mind that, it imprints. It's the repetition, doing it over and over and over. It imprints. That is who you are. That is the state you're holding. You're aligned. You push that out. And the world outside of you, the world of the five senses, will conform to reflect whoever you are being. It will take shape to reflect the state of whoever you are. So you want to practice that alignment, that shift. Assume, law of assumption, you want to assume it's all working in your favor, because it always is. Everything's always working in your favor. Do this for a week. And I want you to come back and tell me, this is going to work in my favor. This is going to work in my favor. This is going to work in my favor. I don't know how, some way, somehow. This is working in my favor, because everything works in my favor. Everything works in my favor. Life is always supporting me. The right people show up, the opportunities, the circumstances, the money, the situation, the travel, the world opens up for me because life is always supporting me and this is going to work in my favor. So I'm trusting, I'm believing, I'm relaxing, I'm loving myself, I am enjoying my life, and I'm imagining incredible things for myself because I'm absolutely worthy of it. Do this over and over and come back and tell me what shows up in your life. You're going to go through some powerful shifts. Whoever you tell yourself that you are up here, that software that you've programmed, that is what you're experiencing in your outer reality. You're the operant power means that you get to decide what you're telling the machine, your body. Your beliefs follow your thoughts, follow your actions, the body follows the mind. So start by having control over your mind and assume that life is always supporting you because it is. You have purpose, you're on this earth for a reason, you're a spiritual being having a human experience. Absolutely fall in love with your life and everything that you're creating. Make it a game and have fun. You will transform everything. I promise. Okay, so thanks for joining me on this video. I will see you on the next one. I hope, I trust that you're going to experience some incredible things by making this shift, assuming that it's all working in your favor, because it is.